Hey y'all, I'm back with a scrapbook process video for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the March 2017 kits in this video. And I will start off by being very honest. This layout did not come easy to me at all. I struggled majorly, and you'll see that I end up changing the layout like probably about 2 or 3 times. And I'll kind of walk you through that process, but I left everything in because I think it's important to show that not everything comes together simply and quickly. Sometimes I do, and as most of you know, because you probably go through the same thing, struggle with putting layouts together, especially when um, you just aren't feeling it that particular day. And this is just one of those days that I had to like kind of walk away and come back. And I think it ended up turning out a lot better, but I did change it up quite a bit. And at this point, it doesn't look so bad. I think it's when I start adding the embellishments is when I start to not really care for it so much. And I'll kind of talk to you about why. And I think I rushed the placement of the embellishments and things like that. So at this point, I'm liking it. I think when I added I think it's by Maggie Holmes, a Notes Crepe paper, the kind of greenish yellowish paper with the florals. I think I wasn't feeling it, but I was like, I'm going to continue going because I want to be able to see if it'll work out for me. And then I just started like adding these embellishments without really paying too much attention to like placement. And I end up pulling that first feather off, and I'll tell you why. And then you'll see here, like I'm just adding stuff and I really wasn't sure why I didn't like think more. I think I just thought it could come really easy to me working on this page. And I think because the background is so loud, I probably should have thought more into it, and that was part of the issue. So I'll tell you how I fixed that, and then I'll show you how I fixed my embellishment issue. At this point, I'm just pulling lots of different elements from the kit. I am pulling from the Little by Little collection. Those are the stickers you saw me place on the page, which I'm kind of sad I like ruined that feather sticker now that I pulled it off. I pull it off later, but it's still there for now. And then I'm using several of the Dear Lizzie pieces of ephemera, and then the little toothpick ephemera piece is also from Dear Lizzie. Lovely Day, I believe. And then I'm also using some of the um, what's that collection called? Oh My Heart by Paige Evans. I'm using some of her collection too. So I'm going to put the titles of this as Kiki, something you make me so happy, or you make my heart happy. And that is my daughter and my brother-in-law, and she adores him. And we started like as a joke, his name's Kenny, and we started as a joke calling him Kiki like when Ava, my daughter, was a newborn. And it just stuck. We were saying it kind of to be funny and just to shorten his name. And so now that's what she calls him, and that's what we call him. So I think it's super fun when you don't plan something like that, or you do something to be funny and it just totally sticks like a nickname. So I wanted to kind of do a layout about them, and he was willing to do anything for her, like including dress up like a French painter for her birthday, which he did on her first birthday because it was French themed. So back to the layout, I've added quite a few things on that layout, and I just, like I said, was not liking it. I was adding enamel dots. I was adding just all kinds of stuff on top of the bottom and top left-hand corners of the page, and still wasn't feeling it. So when I added this white paint, it's a Shimmers Acrotones paint, and it's in, let's see, I think I have it. It's in 3 Sheets to the Wind is the color, and we actually got that in our one of our color kits. I don't know if it was last month or the month before. It may have been last month for February. And then I also added some raspberry sherbet pasties, which I thought the colors went really well, and I ended up actually cutting out the mixed media portion and adhering it, or actually sewing it right to the back of that lilac paper. And I really was liking the way that it was looking, but there was still something missing and I just couldn't figure out what. And I'll be honest, I really don't care for the end result too much. I still think the end result it isn't something that I love, but I ended up staying with it, and I ended up liking it a lot better than the very beginning or the very first, I guess, final layout. So anyway, now I'm punching some tags from some pattern paper just to add some interest to the right side. I just felt like it was too blank over there. Part of the reason why I wasn't feeling the layout. And so I realized that I didn't like that a whole lot, and so I'm looking through. You can see I had already put my kit away because I knew I was getting my April kit soon. And I had put everything back in the bag, and I ended up taking everything back out because I knew I needed to go back through it and see what else I could find. And there was still a ton left. I just was struggling with what to use, and it was a mess. Anyway, so ended up pulling that off, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe just the layers are just all over the place. So I ended up trimming off the top of the layer, and then at this point, I'm kind of liking the way it's looking so far. I think it's looking a lot better. I just feel like it needed some other elements. And so I'm going to add some little corner pieces. And I do this often when I have a big focal point, like in the middle or like in the middle to the left or to the right. And so, and there's nothing else below or above it. And I add a little something just to kind of draw your eye around the page. And so I added a little bit of the black and white washi tape. I think that's the Dear Lizzie washi. And then I think you can color on it actually, which is kind of cool. And then I'm adding a couple of other little pieces just to add some interest there. And I think I'm done at that point. And then I realized, no, I'm not. So I'm actually just going to slow down my still shot so that you guys can see what I did. So I took that feather off right next to the photo, and what I ended up doing is adding a little starburst element along with a circular element, and then I cut out some of the words from the little by little paper and sewed them right onto the page, and I did them very wonky just to kind of like add to the already wonkiness of the page, and then I added a little fox there, which I thought was pretty cute. And so you'll see the words there up close. And that's really all I did. I didn't do a whole lot more other than that. But I did want to slow it down so you guys could see that I did add some words. And then I also added that little circular element, which I think made a big difference. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.